what you're looking at here is Las Vegas, Nevada this morning, guys. That's not normal, is it? A lattice work of chemtrails with vertical ones. New one for me is the vertical ones. What would cause that, I wonder?
Okay, here it is. We've been doing meteorological myths all week. Now, I'm taking a topic here that definitely has a lot of conversation being discussed about it online, especially. Contrails versus chemtrails. What are we talking about here? Contrails are what you see coming out of an airplane, the exhaust coming out the back, the moisture that condenses and forms a cloud. That's a contrail, which is basically short for condensation trail. Now, there are some folks who feel that there are chemtrails that are also coming out of planes. It is a conspiracy theory that we are getting pollution being to manipulate the atmosphere, either for behavioral control, weather control, some type of control, and this would be coming out of the backs of planes, not all of them, but some of them. So you can get a lot of information. Just consider your source when you go online to check this out. But what I want to do is I want to just talk about the folks who talk about chemtrails. I keep hearing people saying, well, they sit in the sky for so long, it can't just be a regular contrail. And I kind of want to disprove that myth right here with some meteorology behind it. So here's what we have. This is a contrail, a shot from another plane right here, and it looks like a cloud. And basically that's what it is. You've got dry air in the upper atmosphere, not very dry, there's moisture, but there's no clouds. The moisture hasn't condensed, it's still invisible water vapor. But when a jet plane goes by, the exhaust coming out has a lot of moisture in it. It's very hot, and as soon as it comes out, it is cooled by the air around it. It condenses, and if the conditions are moist enough outside of it, we get a cloud to form, and that's your condensation trail. So here's the cloud that will form behind a plane. Depending on the weather conditions, that cloud will stay or disappear very quickly. There are days I know there will not be contrails because it will come right out of the exhaust, and basically what will happen out of the back of the plane, and it'll be so dry outside and the air is sinking and warming and drying that the contrail will just disappear because there's not enough moisture in the air. But on days that we have moisture in the air but there are no clouds and we have air slightly rising, we get these cloud streaks right here, these contrails that persist. And if the wind is blowing in the right direction, you get wind shear as well, and the clouds will tend to kind of form ice crystals, and as they do, they'll shear apart, but they're still not sinking enough to dry out by getting that increased pressure, that drying air. When I talk about high pressure, sinking air, and drying air, what's basically happening is we have a little lift of the air right here, and right at the leading edge of it, you see these cirrus clouds. When there's a warm front approaching like this, and there are planes flying around here, there will be all kinds of contrails right here, but out ahead of it, under the big blue H, high pressure, maybe even tomorrow, though it's not a real strong high pressure, you just don't get the contrails to form. And so, if I hear the argument that, well, these have to be chemtrails because normal contrails don't stay in the atmosphere that long, that is a myth.
It's come to my attention and the attention of other airline pilots that there's a lunatic fringe movement of conspiracy theorists out there who believe in a thing called chemtrails. I've read the sites and I've even watched the Mickey Mouse production, What in the World Are They Spraying? Time and time again, the fact is purported that these chemtrails contain a high level of aluminum. Well, listen up, because what I have to tell you is going to devastate your ridiculous theory. Part of the most basic equipment on any regularly scheduled airliner is an onboard weather radar. Aluminum, even trace amounts, is highly reflective to radar waves. So reflective, in fact, that aluminum pods are carried on combat aircraft to foil radar-guided missiles. These pods are released when a lock is sensed, and the radar signature left by the aluminum is so grandiose that the radar-guided missile breaks off and plunges straight into a cloud of aluminum particles. These chemtrails are purportedly released by other similar aircraft to airlines with the same operational ceilings. We, as airline pilots, have logged millions of hours every year at the same altitudes as these purported chemtrails, and not once seen what would amount to a virtual wall of aluminum in the sky. These chemtrails would light up our radar scopes like Jackson Pollock paintings if they existed. Reports would fill the NASA ASAP system of pilots who thought that they were picking up the ground at 37,000 feet. That's how the radar returns would look. You crazy people are gullible, conservative pawns. Furthermore, regarding the longevity of these chemtrails, they are living no longer than they ever have before. They are simply being refreshed by aircraft flying along the same Victor Airways and jet routes as defined by very high frequency omnidirectional range beacons. GPS allows us very few divergencies from these routes and jetways. According to Airlines for America, air travel inside of the United States since 1980 has doubled, on some routes even tripled. So get your heads out of your bottoms and stop believing everything that's on the internet.
It's coming even closer.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll go back to the UK cams another time in a short while. So let's now go to other webcams in different parts of the world to see their skies as well, because again, we're seeing far too many chemtrails. And then you'll start seeing all the chemtrails again passing through just now. Lines in the skies, spraying the area, polluting our skies. All that you see on the screen is just chemtrails. All this you can see again is just poison. Dark skies behind it. More lines in the skies. There's a pink reflection as well that's on this chemtrail. You'll start seeing them spraying all them aerosols in the sky again. Look at all this. Just go through the cam. Everything is being sprayed and hammered. But look above here. Can you see this dust? There's thousands of feet high. Here again, we've got chems.
Oi, 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 oi.